Hi, Scorpio, and welcome to your 2025 forecast. Okay, we are going to be talking about 6 different topics, questions that I have here. We're going to be confirming it with tarot. We're going to be looking at messages, advice, guidance, predictions even, okay? So let's get right into this. Let's not waste any more time. Challenge you may face, Scorpio. Accelerated motion. Ooh, okay. Accelerated motion. I'm going to pull a tarot. The first thing that I'm feeling, that is an 8. And accelerated motion makes me think of the 8 of Wands. So, a challenge that you may be facing, because look, we're only a few days away from the new year, right? And remember, this isn't all going to happen January 1st or the month of January. These are things that could be taking place throughout the year, or things that you're already dealing with that need to be, fixed up. Let's get it fixed up because, there's going to be a reason why. So what I want to say, because I'm automatically thinking, right? Something faster than the speed of light. Like everything moves. Even if you think back to the old, Star Trek show, or any of the space shows. And when they put the spaceship or whatever carrier they're in into warp speed and it just takes off, right? It's fast movement. You're going to have a challenge surrounding fast movement. Okay. Okay, here we go. It gets even deeper now that we have a tarot, but it's like taking that initiative. If we think of the 8 of Wands, like setting your sights, your goal on, or setting your goal and then going after it quickly. Let's get the King of Swords in here. This can also be having challenges about making quick, clear, smart, and truthful decisions, okay? That could be a challenge in some way, all right? Like really, setting your sights, being clear and knowing what it is that you're going after, what it is that you're doing. This can be in any area of life or what it is you need to do, all right? But really doing it quickly with clarity, intellect, smarts, and being truthful about it. I feel like that could be the challenge. But here's the thing from Spirit. They're saying sometimes quick decisions need to be made. But guess what? If you are aware of this, and right now you start today with, okay, when these situations come up where I need to make a quick decision, how am I going to deal with it? That's getting clear about it before it even happens. Like, I need to have a plan in place. I need to have steps in place that help me to make quick decisions when I need to. Look, if it's not quick and you've got time, then, you're able to look at it from different perspectives, different angles, whatever it may be. But there are going to be some things, and that's the challenge, that are going to require it to be fast, to be quick. So I'm just going to leave that there. That may be a challenge that you're going to face. Now, positive energy to embrace. Material and spiritual prosperity. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting the way. I think that's my catchphrase. Oh, that's interesting. I think I may have a catchphrase here. I'm going to have to start selling. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to start selling shirts here on my from my YouTube channel. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, sorry, making fun of myself here, Scorpio. Making fun of my Scorpio self. Now, that's my Sagittarius making fun of my Scorpio self. Here we have material and spiritual prosperity. They want you to embrace it. I almost want to say there is something, Scorpio, that you can do in the realm, I'll say, of spirituality, that you can gain abundance or money, make a living from. Now, they're showing me because this is what I do, and it is possible. And they want you to embrace it. So if there is something that you want to do, and I'm even going to throw religion in there, because I never feel that, people that practice different religions, you're still believing in a spirit, God, source, universe, or whomever it is, right? A Buddha or whoever it may be. I don't know all the different names, so I can't list them. It's not that I'm purposely leaving anybody out. I just really don't know all the different names of the different, deities for different religions or whatever it may be. So there's something in that area. Okay, there we go. It was the word area that I couldn't come up with, in that area where you need to embrace it, because you could, whether it's a side hustle to begin or always remains a side hustle, right? Something you do on the side part-time. There's still prosperity materially wise, which is money or things that can come to you, that can bring you joy. So they want you to embrace that and not think, there's a lot of belief out there that, oh, well, you have these gifts, you should be doing it for free. No. Other people study and learn and this and that, and they don't do it for free. But here's something interesting, Scorpio. Think of it this way. What I'm doing right now is for free. There's where I'm doing it for free, to give back, right? To give back, showing gratitude for what it is that I'm able to do, right? There's always a different way and a different perspective and way to look at things. I feel like I'm telling you this for a reason. Everything can come into balance, all right? It doesn't have to be one or the other, like, I don't know. There's just something about that where it can be balanced. You can do this where prosperity or money, or like I said, things, because maybe you'll do it on a barter system, right? It's hard to say, however you choose to do it, but where things can come to you in a good way and you're doing good for other people. That's what I feel this is. There can be balance and peace and harmony. You're not being greedy, okay? So that's why they're showing me, because I've had people say that. And I'm like, really? Come on now. If you're a hairdresser, which I was at one time too, so I can speak to it. And so was my mother. And so is my best friend, all hairdressers. So they have a talent for cutting hair. Should they do it for free? No. No, they should not, right? So that's what it is. Let's move on to negative shadow energy to work on. Passion, ignite it. I think this card can have many different meanings, but because we're talking about negative shadow energy here to work on, maybe your passion gets ignited a little too often. Maybe your passions, because we can be very passionate, and I mean in the getting wound up and it may be a little out of control at times. I feel, well, it could be twofold. Maybe for some of you, it's literal passion, okay? But I'm going to go first with the negative shadow energy to work on part where I'm saying you could get a little wound up too tightly. You could be a little too in your face. You could get a little too passionate and fiery, because don't forget, the original ruler before Pluto of Scorpio was Mars. Fiery planet, ruler of Aries, very fiery energy. So maybe for some of you, that's what you need to work on, is just controlling. Take the water side of Scorpio and maybe douse those flames a little bit, okay? For others, I have to say it because it popped in, and right, just take a moment, take a beat. Suspend yourself for a second, for a minute, for an hour, a day, whatever it is. Suspend yourself and try to look at whatever the situation that's getting you all fired up and ignite it in not a good way. Try to look at it and see if you can look at it from a different perspective, okay? Now, for some of you also, I want to say, maybe with the negative shadow energy to work on when it comes to passion, ignite it. Maybe your passion is a little too ignited, and I'm talking passion as in relationship type of passion. And maybe you are, for lack of a better word, you could be a player. Maybe you're a cheater. Maybe you just are out breaking hearts left, right, and center. Maybe that needs to be worked on a little bit, okay? Maybe try looking at it from a different perspective, or from the other person's perspective, okay? So that may be something that needs to be worked on for some of you Scorpios. Now, what do you need to make room for? Prosperity begins. Look, they want you to embrace up here material and spiritual, and I'm saying religious prosperity. And down here, they want you to make room for it, because prosperity is about to begin in your life. And they want you to, it's almost like attuning to it, right? You know, when you hear people say, if you're trying to manifest something into your life for the good of your life, then you start living your life like you already have it. I feel like that's what this means, okay? You start living your life like you are prosperous and that you do have it, showing gratitude, of course. And that will help you to make room for it in your life. Now, it also means making room for it that you have to release and let go of any old stuff, be it material, physical things, thoughts, feelings, ways of thinking, whatever it is, mindsets. Let those old ones that don't serve you go so that this new mindset can come in. Let's get a tarot, though, to go with it, Scorpio. The sun, well, that couldn't be happier. And what do you need to make things grow? Look, this peach tree had a lot of sun, so it could start bearing the peaches, all right? This is happy. If you can release and let go of what you don't need around, or those old thought patterns or ways of thinking or believing, it's going to allow the prosperity to come in. If you start living like you're prosperous already, okay? And all it's going to do is that sun is going to hit it, and it's just going to grow it and grow it and grow it. So it's worth working on these things, isn't it? Here, like really embracing this, really be willing to make room for it. Okay? That's where the prediction comes in. That's the prediction part, right? If you are willing to do it, they're telling you what can happen. But it's always going to be as a prediction in any type of psychic reading or card reading or whatever it is. If you don't do your part, or if you change course somewhere on it, that prediction is no longer a prediction because you've changed course, or in this case, haven't done the work, okay? So let's keep going. What do you need to avoid? Well, I'll tell you, you need to avoid this passion ignited up here, okay? You need to avoid not being able to make quick and smart decisions. But look, spiritual union. Sometimes the cards come in and they're never going to say you need to avoid spiritual union. No, no, no. Sometimes there isn't a card that would be the opposite of this that they can, make me stop at so that I can say, oh, this is what you need to do. Okay, this happens. So don't be alarmed. They don't want you to not have spiritual union. They want you to avoid not having the spiritual union, right? They don't want you not connecting with spirit, God, source, universe, or whomever. They don't want you to not connect with your higher self. This is important for you. You need to be able to tap in to your intuition, your creativity, your emotions. You need to be able to have logic and rational thought working alongside of your intuition and your heart and your gut feelings, okay? That is why you need to be able, or why you need to tap in to spirit and have that working relationship with them. It makes all of this easier. So they want you to avoiding it. Okay, let me get another card here though for you, Scorpio. Pentacles. I think something very interesting that they're saying here with the Five of Pentacles is when you avoid connecting with spirit, your higher self, your soul, your guides, your angels, it actually is like lacking something in your life. The Five of Pentacles, feeling lack, feeling hard done by. Things could be so much easier and better for you when you make the connection. It's almost like without that connection, without realizing it, because it doesn't mean that in your life there's necessarily lack, whatever, but on a soul spiritual level, you are depriving yourself of something really, really great. Okay, let's get the last card. What opportunity should you seize or grab a hold of? Suffering and silence. Again, Spirit's not going to ask you, Scorpio, to suffer in silence and to grab a hold of any opportunity where you can, okay? It's the opposite of that, all right? I'm going to get a tarot as well. But basically what I feel this is, okay, is when... I'm going to get the card first. The King of Pentacles. Love that came out. Okay. When opportunities come into you, okay? An opportunity is always a chance here for you to grab a hold or seize something that is really good for you, okay? Or that helps you learn, okay? That helps you heal in some way. This is one of these suffering and silence. This is also a 9, which could be considered the Hermit card, where you hermit away to suffer in silence, okay? It's like you withdraw from everyone, maybe not physically, but emotionally, mentally, so that you can suffer in silence. And they're saying no. When these opportunities to do that present themselves to you, you need to do the opposite. You need, and it's blue here, I want to say, or is it black? I think it's blue. Good Lord, I can hardly, the lighting in here. Yeah, it's blue. It's like, what color is it? I feel like it's like your throat chakra, right? It's blue, throat chakra. You need to speak up. It doesn't mean, when I say speak up, never go to that Dr. Phil thing that I love to talk about where you're just going to tell it like it is. And that's it. You have to be respectful of people. You have to consider people's feelings. You have to consider your own feelings. You have to be loving, kind, caring, and compassionate. If everybody started acting like that again, things would be a lot better, right, Scorpio? I'm sure just you're very matter of fact like me when it comes to stuff like that. Or actually, I have my Mercury in Scorpio, so it really, yeah, it does. I'm just very matter of fact about those things. Look, it's the truth. If we all started treating each other better, things would be better. Now, so you have to be kind and respectful, but you need to stand up for yourself would be one way of describing it. You need to speak your indifference maybe to it. Okay, because you're suffering here. So these things are things that you may not necessarily like, that you would normally pull back from. But if someone asked you to do something that you don't want to do, instead of pulling back and suffering in silence, thinking that you've let everyone down and that, oh my God, people aren't going to like me because I didn't do this. Instead of that, you just speak up and say, you know what? I've done this now X amount of times, or if it's something new that you've never done, it's just, unfortunately, I have other commitments. I will not be able to do this. Okay, you speak your truth. It's almost, I feel so much like this is when you're in positions of having to maybe do what's right as opposed to doing what's wrong, and you know it in your gut that it's not right, or at least it's not right for you. But instead of saying, you know what, this just doesn't feel right for me right now at this time, you would make another excuse and then go suffer in silence, or you'd agree to do it and then go suffer in silence. It's that type of thing. This is just speaking for yourself, right? Where, you know what, no, I'm not available. No, I don't feel right about doing that. Or, you know what, I've done this for years. I've committed my time to it. I think it's time for me to step back a little bit. Whatever it is, you're going to speak your truth, not lie, not little white lie, but you don't have to share everything. Okay. And you don't need to hurt people's feelings while doing it. And they're going to send those things in, right, for you to work on this. So just be prepared. Take on the I love the King of Pentacles. I said it when it came out. I'm like, I love this card here because the King of Pentacles is the leader in his life. He is a supreme leader. He is disciplined and he is determined, and you want to take on that energy because you want to be disciplined and determined to deal with these situations by using your throat chakra in the most truthful and authentic way, and being the leader in your life, not letting someone else dictate to you, Scorpio, what it is you may or may not be doing. Those are examples. This will resonate differently in different ways in different Scorpios' lives. But do not withdraw and suffer in silence, or go ahead and do it and then suffer in silence. We have been conditioned to do that, and we no longer need to. Do you know why? Because there's going to be people out there that want to do it. Okay? However it is, right? That will want to volunteer their time for that. That would be more than happy to fill your place, okay? So you be truthful and authentic to yourself when it comes to that stuff. So this is your reading, Scorpio. I so hope that you enjoyed it, that it resonated in some way, whether it was all of it or one or two pieces of it. Now, I want to thank you for your support in 2024, or for as long as you've supported me. You know, if you've shared my videos, you've made a comment, you've hit that like button, it's all appreciated. It helps my channel. Also, if you're a new Scorpio coming in for the first time to this reading, welcome. Please subscribe and hit that like button. Share it with other Scorpios or people that may need to hear this message, okay? But I wish you all the best with this. There's some really great things. Look, there's some really great things that can be happening here for you, okay? But there's also a lot about speaking truth and being truthful and being clear about things. All right? But a little work to do here. You know, what to avoid here. Avoiding, it's like, okay, sorry, I said I was done, but I just have to say, because it just came in, it's like going to do a job, whatever job it is that you do, and not having all the tools. That's the difference between connecting with spirit and not connecting with spirit. You can either have all the tools in your chest or be missing a few. And, you know, if you're missing a few, you don't get the job done very well. That's it, Scorpio. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the new year in some of my other readings.